What's up, people? We are back.
Yes, sir.
Clark Dynasty in the building. Heaven to God, Wonder Kid Prime, and your boy, the director.
What's
And
up? What's up,
what's
people?
up, y'all? And we are here back again to talk about the Complex Magazine Hip Hop 50 Greatest Hip Hop New York MCs of all time, or rappers, excuse me, rappers of all time.
Right.
So Complex Magazine made a list. They always make a list, but this time they wanted to be in honor of the 50th anniversary of hip hop. They wanted to give a little love to where the birth of hip hop, which is New York. So the city of New York, and so they wanted to compile the 50 of the what they feel is the greatest New York rappers of all time. And it says here, just to give you a hint on their criteria, in homage to New York's impact on hip hop, the Complex Music team has curated a list ranking 50 of the greatest rappers from that city and its surrounding areas, from some of its founding fathers and mothers to young bloods who have injected new energy into the city's sound in the last 5 years. Skill, lyrical ability, and impact on the genre and culture in New York and beyond were key factors in determining who made the cut. So that's pretty much their criteria. Um, so I'm going to go through the list briefly. We'll kind of maybe go get halfway through and make a few comments, analyze where we are at that point, and then we'll get to the top 10 and do a little more analyzation of it. Is that agreed by everybody?
Cool.
Cool. All right, let's go. So the top 50, starting with number 50, Ice Spice. Number 49, Pharoah Monch. Number 48, Diddy.
No,
No. Number 47, Biz Markie.
too
Number
low.
46, Styles P. Number 45, Jim Jones. 44, Grand Poobah.
Too low.
Number 43, Melly Mel.
You're
Wait.
right.
Number 42, Sean Price, aka Ruck from Ruck and Rock, which is Helter Skelter. Boot Camp Click. Number 41, ASAP Rocky.
Oh.
Number 40, Cool Mo D.
Mm.
39, Nori. 38, MC Light. 37, Ja Rule.
Too high.
36, Cool Keith.
Seven's crazy for Ja Rule.
Hey, 35, Old Dirty Bastard, RIP. 34, Foxy Brown.
Oxy,
33 is the Jizza. 32 is Fabulous.
reckless.
31 is Fat Joe. Crack. 30 is Coogee Rap. 29, Big L.
Overrated.
28 is Mace. 27, Pop Smoke.
Overrated.
26, Raekwon the Chef. And 25, Cardi B. We'll stop there for a moment. That's the first 25 on the list.
All right.
Okay, the first thing that's going through my mind when I'm reading this list is invalid just from Jump Street. I was like, wait a second.
Oh,
When
man.
you start with for the within the first 25, you start with Ice Spice being number 50, and you end with Cardi B being number 25. Let's get some quick thoughts from both of you. Have quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts. These bottom 25 are all out of whack. I probably have an issue with about 8 of them that I probably wouldn't even put on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Spice, I can't put on the list. I don't care how they try to, they try to throw that little within the last 5 years in strictly to justify their Ice Spice pick. That's exactly why they
in
did
the last
that.
5 years, and they can only use impact because she doesn't have lyrical skills. She doesn't have lyrical ability. So.
I can't listen. Like I told people, and people said, "Oh, you foul." Ice Spice. If you want to include Ice Spice, this is how she should have been included. like after you name off the first 25, Ice Spice can come out to the middle with the ring cards up and bend over and do her little move, and then go back, and then we ring off the every 25. Ice Spice should come out to the middle of the ring.
Oh wow.
You want her to be involved? We'll let her be involved. She needs to come out to the middle of the ring and hold up the cards that say like, okay, now we're doing 40 through 30. Glah.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna bend over. and then do her little move.
Ding.
And then go sit down.
It got to be the ring bell when she bends over. Ding. And then she walks away.
That's it. I can't have her there. I love Cardi B. I love Cardi B.
Yeah.
I can't have Cardi B on this list.
I think Cardi B would probably agree that she should be on this list.
Kool Keith. I didn't even know Kool Keith was from New York. That's how much he shouldn't be on the list. Biz Markie, love Biz. Biz had no bars. You can't have Biz there.
Most of his bars he didn't write. And
Biz
didn't write a lot of his bars.
A lot of his bars he didn't
wrote.
write. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
BDK wrote for him. Yeah.
Right. So that's the issue. If you're questionable, somebody wrote for you. Now this isn't 2023. Now it's not really that big of a deal now.
Yeah.
But back then, it's a no that someone was writing for you.
Yeah, but Mel can't write.
Biz. I can't have them dudes in there, man. Diddy, love Diddy. Diddy, when we have producers, executive producers, or whatever, Diddy's there.
Diddy's not a rapper.
But Diddy's not a rapper.
Give me one Diddy solo song you've ever listened to.
Diddy's not a rapper, right?
Probably, yeah, he doesn't have anything solo.
Jim Jones.
People on him with him.
Man,
Jim Jones.
If
he should be closer.
First of all, Melly Mel should be way lower. Let's not let this little garbage that he did with Eminem. Let's not everybody. I know everybody got short-term memory. Let's not hear that and be like, oh, he's trash. Yes, that response was trash, but it is the man who a lot of people say the third verse in the Message. A lot of people say is the greatest verse in hip hop history. So if he has the greatest verse of hip hop history, how can he be 43?
Right.
It's a travesty. And you have I didn't see because the people that was left off the list. People who's left off the list. You're gonna put in Kool Keith, but you're gonna leave off Sticky Fingers.
Right, and we haven't finished the list, but he hasn't been on.
But if he's not up in there. He probably, I don't know if he will be further down the list, but just from right there, I got a lot of issues with the first 25.
Prime, quick thoughts, Prime.
I mean, my first thought is Fat Joe at 31 is egregious. I am not a Fat Joe fan. Never have. Probably never will be. But outside the top 25 of hip hop artists in New York is tough. That's that just doesn't sit well with me.
He's always rep Bronx very hard.
Yeah, that's
his contribution and impact was great. Brought pun to the world.
He's got
pun to the world. Big impact there, and he's always,
I can't judge by that. The second and probably the most egregious one for me at this point, again, a person I am not any bit a fan of at all. Ja Rule, bro. 37?
Yeah.
37 is crazy.
No.
Ja Rule.
This man had 6 songs at one. He's the only rapper to ever have 6 songs.
Yeah.
In the top 10, playing at one time.
Majority
6 songs within the top 10.
That's majority of the time.
Yeah.
At 37 is crazy. That's egregious to me. Other than that, I obviously Ice Spice at 50 is crazy.
She shouldn't be on the list.
Hasn't earned that.
What's your feel on Cardi B at 25?
I mean, look, personally, I wouldn't put her in the top 50. I guess I hear arguments towards the top 50 because it has to be more than just lyricism. So obviously it has to be impact and things like that. And she had
a big impact in the last 5 years based on what they're saying.
But
and more than that.
Maybe not yet, but you know what, whatever. Like I don't know if 25
Styles P over Styles, so she's a better rapper than Styles
P. It should not be ahead of Styles P.
All right,
I think if I'm gonna have her on the list, she'd be at 50.
Yeah,
instead of Ice Spice.
When I was looking through the list earlier, I was just trying to be objective about obviously some people aren't gonna have I'm gonna see some of my favorites lower on the list because sometimes the guys with all the bars aren't the guys that have the records. So Styles P is gonna be hurt by the fact that his biggest hit is I Get High. You feel me? Good time. And he doesn't really have any other commercial stuff. Even though we know Styles P is ridiculous, he's a ghostwriter. But with Cardi B, I expected
that makes sense.
I didn't expect it to be at 25. The only real egregious ones I had were Fat Joe and Ja Rule. And I mean I don't like the Jizza being as high
or whatever.
Only 2 spots higher than Dirty. And I get it. He Liquid Swords is such a
legendary album.
The rest of his albums, everything, but that was a little much for me. But other than that, I mean, and I don't know who Pharoah Monch is. No disrespect.
I agree. Pharoah Monch probably you could have put someone else there, like he said, Sticky Fingers. I have one. Well, you guys covered my other issues. I have one issue that's going to be considered controversial, and people may not like what I'm about to say. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I would have put Pop Smoke on this list at all.
You can't.
And the reason why I say this, my reason is the same reason why when we do our list and people ask me why did I put Tupac ahead of Biggie or this, that, and the other, because Pop Smoke, rest in peace, unfortunately was taken out early in his career, way earlier than Biggie. Before he even really dropped. And I'm gonna say this. Yes, he's from New York, right? And I say it is not the rest of these rappers on this list's fault that Pop Smoke is no longer with us, and he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough skin in the game, in my opinion, to be put on of all time. If this was a list of street rappers, underground rappers, things like that, that's another story. This is the greatest hip-hop New York rappers of all time. So in my opinion, can't put him there. I know people gonna be coming for me on that, but you know what? It is what it is.
I don't think that's too crazy. If I could just quickly counter, I think the timing and the impact that he had of what he did. I mean, his style of rap is kind of what everybody's doing in New York now. People were literally trying to copy his voice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he had a good impact. He did have a big impact.
Real buzz
in New York.
Probably the strongest buzz in New York in a while.
Probably since 50, maybe. He
kind of bought New York back.
Well, I mean, his buzz was probably as big since 50. He probably had the biggest buzz at the
I hold that in high regard, though. What you just said, he brought New York kind of back on the map. We'll talk about him in a couple minutes. Fab, I think he's similar to Fab, obviously just not with the level of success that Fab had because he passed, but similar to Fab in the sense of in a time period where all the hot artists kind of seemed like they were coming from outside of New York. Pop Smoke kind of just popped up and made the thing. But yeah, I definitely feel. I mean, in the 20 Banana.
I mean,
if you're gonna be on there, he should take Ice Spice's spot.
Yeah, I'm saying someone should be, and that's what I'm saying. There are we can name right now at least 5 rappers that didn't make this list that should be on there, and that's why I feel like people are suffering because they wanted to be current and put somebody on there. So that's what I'll say. We'll continue with the list.
Some people come along and they're just that. Good, but 20s is crazy. But we
Yeah.
can go.
Okay, so continue with the list from Cardi B, 25. Number 24, Q-Tip. Number 23, Run, DJ Run from Run DMC. Number 22, Chuck D from Public Enemy, the front man for Public Enemy. Number 21, The Method Man, representing the Wu-Tang Clan. Number 20, Slick Rick. Number 19, Big Daddy Kane. 18, Yeltsin Bey, who is basically Mos Def. That's aka Mos Def.
Way too low. Way too low.
Cameron, excuse me.
Voice
Number
ever.
17, Cameron. Number
Big
16, Jada Kiss.
That's my guy.
Number 15, Big Pun, rest in peace.
Right.
Number 14, MF Doom, aka Zeph Love X
Yep.
from KMD.
And
Number 13,
Rock.
Ghostface Killer. Number 12, Lil Kim. Number 11, Prodigy. R.I.P. Too many R.I.Ps on this list. And
Yeah.
we will stop there before we get into the top 10.
Let Ice Spice come out. Do
Yeah,
do a little dance.
Here comes Ice Spice with her,
Bend over.
dance and her cards. Bend over, ding. And then she. So, yes, it is what it is. Okay, quick thoughts again. I'll start real quick because I have 1 to 2 quick thoughts. Once again, there's a couple people in there that I feel I would definitely not have put. If they would have made the list, they wouldn't have been on that. What you want to? I say high on the list, meaning high up to number 1, but whatever way you want to put it. And I'm gonna do it again. People might have a problem with me because this is another gentleman who is no longer with us, but he did have a more time than Pop Smoke. MF Doom, in my opinion, and I got a chance. He reinvented himself as MF Doom. I always knew him as Zeph Love X, and I've known his work for a long time. I used to mess with some cats out there in Long Beach, and I knew that crew. I knew KMD. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew he was dope. He was a dope MC. MF Doom, it took me almost a year before I even knew that was him. It's MF Doom.
Yeah,
but once he reinvented himself, boom. I'm not putting MF Doom that low or high, whatever you want to call it, in that slot. He's not falling in the top 20 for me. I'm just not. It's just gotta go there. People get mad if they want to. RIP to him. He made a great impact, and he was very different in his approach when he reinvented himself. I definitely give him that. And he had bars. So but no, he wouldn't go there. What's your quick thoughts?
Ghostface Killer cannot be lower than Method Man. It's my opinion. I think that
Ghost was what? He was 20 and Meth was 21. Where was Ghost?
You mean you don't want Ghostface ranking higher, like closer to 1 than Method Man?
Right. I think Ghostface is actually ranked closer to 1 than Method Man.
Well, Method Man was number 21, I think, on the list, right?
What was Ghost?
Let me see.
16.
Ghost
right?
is 13.
Yeah. I cannot. Maybe you need to put Meth at 13.
Right. Switch them, flip flop them. Yeah. Because Method Man was number 21.
Another thing, where's Big Daddy Kane?
He's number 19.
It can't. It can't happen.
Yeah.
So Cameron is bigger impact on hip hop than Big Daddy
Cameron
Kane.
has to go back.
MF Doom.
MF Doom. If I have him on the list, he's back there near Cardi B. We move her back to 50. I can't have him there. If you have MF Doom, how do you not have MC Search? Because MC Search was nicer than MF Doom. That's number 1. Number 2, he was the first real white rapper that the culture let in, that was really a part of the culture. And he brought us Nas.
How
if
much
it's
more
not,
impact can you get?
if it's not for Search, there's no Nas.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
and
we all know that. We all heard the
right.
stories about Nas. A lot of people passed on Nas, including
Right.
Eric Sermon
How
and
can
people
you
like that.
justify putting MF Doom higher than Mos Def? I seen Bay. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy to me because I guess the only
He was another one.
only thing that you could hold against most is not a heavy commercial success, but that's because
Right.
music for it. But
Great bars,
Doom doesn't do that either. So
great bars, but is Mos Def any more impactful than Pharaoh Monch? I mean, they almost like the same dude.
I don't know.
Mhm.
All right,
Pharaoh Monch, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, they're all like the same
Yeah.
rapper. So it's like,
different though.
how is
It's like Mrs. Fat Booty, like his first album, like
right?
his album is ridiculous. Like he had, like I don't think Talib.
He's definitely
or Pharaoh
dope. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
and
He definitely can
most-
rap now.
Yeah, I don't
Most
think
is for the good
Talib
impact too.
and Pharaoh Monch have an album like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
No,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that
He got more
it's
impact.
similar,
than
but I
Pharrell.
just think he's on a different level. I mean, I love him to death. I feel like, but
No, I agree.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
also
Mos Def-
let's not forget
Mos
his
Def definitely
contribution.
belongs on the list. He definitely
Right.
on the list. I
Yes,
just think,
definitely.
look, he's in the teens.
Yeah, I mean, his contributions to the culture of Lyricist Lounge show. He was, a big part of that. That was a nice big part of the culture at one point. He was also one of those, rappers that made the transition into acting and and did pretty good as an actor. So he has some impact, definitely more impact than Pharoah Monch, but I get what you're saying about they're the same type of rapper.
And
Yeah.
and a lot of things that you have to look at is it's not even so much where a lot of these guys are falling. It's who's coming before them.
who's
Or
behind?
after.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like messing. It's kind of like, damn. So if this person is here, how the hell is Melly Mel 43
Mhm.
and Mos Def is 13? Like, so Mos
Yeah.
Def
Yeah,
has had, he definitely wasn't nicer than Melly Mel lyrically. That's number one. He had more impact on hip hop than Melly Mel.
all his rhymes.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to pick on Mos Def because Mos Def is definitely dope and he definitely belongs on the list. So I don't want to just pick on him, but it's other people too. Like, even more so, I can find people who don't even belong on the list. Mos Def definitely belongs on the list, but
Yeah.
I'm even looking at, like I said, Big Daddy Kane. I'm looking at Prodigy at 11, right?
Mhm.
At one point, Prodigy was the dopest rapper in New
Yeah,
York.
hard for him not to be top 10.
So he cannot be 11. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that automatically puts him in the top 10.
whoever the
11 isn't even egregious,
Fact.
isn't disgusting because we still got other people, but he's got to be a little bit higher than closer to 1 than 11, in my opinion.
Right.
Because I'm noticing we're getting into the top 10, and I'm noticing some people haven't been called. So if they're not in the top 10, that means they're not on the list. And these couple of people that I'm thinking is in the top 10, they're not doper than Prodigy,
Right.
and they didn't make more impact than Prodigy. So that's why I'm bringing him up. But we'll continue.
I'm actually kind of on the other side of you though with the whole Ghostface and Method Man thing. I definitely understand Method Man's impact, but if we're just talking about musically, it's hard not to give it to Ghost, bro. Ghostface.
A lot of people agree with you.
Ghostface got like 3 or 4 real good albums.
Yeah, he does.
He's been able to put together better albums than Method Man.
Yeah.
I think all 3 of those clear to Cal, if I'm being honest with you. Method Man probably has the most iconic hit out of the 2 of them.
He's probably the most popular of the Wu-Tang.
We're talking pure music.
But you're right. Ghost had the most albums, I think, out of any member of Wu-Tang. So
easily most albums, and his albums have never dropped in quality. Like, he's not one of those rappers that decides, like, okay, I'm gonna phone it in. I don't need to really.
No.
You can tell
Right.
he's in competition with himself. So I don't really have. I do have a problem with them being 8 spots apart. I don't think there's that big of a difference between
Right.
the two of them.
Yeah.
But I personally, if I'm ranking, that's where I would have had. That's probably maybe not the spots, but that's probably the ranking I would have had the Wu members that made the list. I
Yeah.
think it will be the 4 that made the list. I mean, even ODB.
Is Raekwon on the list?
He is.
No,
He
Raekwon
was
is-
high up.
Oh, the five that were on
Yeah.
the list. I like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, RZA.
Once again,
is not really a rapper.
yeah, Ray might have the best. He has arguably the best hip hop album
He's the
in
best.
in hip hop. But once again, Ghost, as Prime pointed out, has been able to consistently put together really good albums,
Yeah,
even
he's-
more so than Ray.
He's.
you know?
I think that the cool thing about Wu-Tang is I think that ODB was the best at the character. I think that Ghost has been probably the most consistent. I think Method Man is the biggest person
Mhm.
from there. I think Raekwon has the best album, and Jizza probably might be the best lyricist. You know what I mean? So I think they all bought their own thing, and that's why Wu-Tang is so great. Also why they're number 1 greatest hip hop group. Go watch that video as well. But yeah, I do agree. I do like Ghost there, and I hear what you're saying about Mos Def and everything. I personally, that wasn't that egregious. Yes, only because of people behind him. I agree with you with that. It's not even really like if we're talking. That's why it's hard to do something like New York with so many.
Yeah, with so many, but
like
yeah,
like if you ask me,
tough.
a top 20 rapper of all time, like New York rapper of all time. If I'm thinking just lyricists what I talk in my head, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. But I definitely hear you. But I just think the biggest problem I have with this list personally is probably Prodigy at 11. I don't think it's possible to ever be considered the best in your city at any given time and not be top 10, because that implies the 10 people in front of him at some point were the hottest in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
we gotta see, and we gotta see who
We're gonna perfect segue.
They better be.
Real quick, Big L's ranking way too high. The same things we say about Pop Smoke and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
He said for Big L. Love Big L. Think an animal. R.I.P.
But he got taken out early too,
like 20 something or whatever. No, too high. We're going.
All right, so let's go. We are at the top 10 now, so we will go number 10.
Chris, okay.
KRS-One. Okay. Excuse me. Number 9, Busta Rhymes. Number 8, DMX, Darkman X. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. Number 6, 50 Cent. Number 5, LL Cool J is hard as. And number 4, Rakim, the God, Rakim Allah. And we have the top 3. Number 3 is Nas. Number 2 is the Notorious B.I.G. And number 1 would be Jay-Z. So let's dwell on that right now. Top 10. I'm gonna start off by saying I'm not super mad at this top 10. I'm not super mad at this top 10. I would definitely rearrange a couple things.
Yeah, I love you, Nikki, but we gotta put you at 11 and bring Prodigy in here.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, okay. Like I said, for me, Prodigy has to come in, so someone has to go out. Yeah. That would have to be Nicki Minaj, probably.
Probably gonna have to be Nicki.
Because Nicki, although it's a little weird to explain Nicki. Nicki never. I mean, she was hot, but she never really rose to the hottest rapper in New York. She just kind of just went to be one of the hottest rappers, period. Female rappers, because she became so global, and with that pop. But when she was rocking around New York, she was hot. But I don't never consider that she was the hottest in New York.
She was when she was doing like pop music. You know what I mean?
Right. So, but when she became, she's a global. She's a global, artist and one of the hottest rap artists in the rap game
and
in history, right? So that's not taken away from that, but this is about New York, right? So she was popping in New York. She was in the mixtape, circuit, and she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
popping,
definitely.
but she was never the hottest.
Definitely was. She was never the hottest.
Arguably, you could say 50 Cent was the hottest rapper in New York at
Yeah,
one time.
I was about to say, no, nobody.
I would have Prodigy ahead of him, but
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know because 50's
It is what it
impact
is
is like
because
no other ever
none other.
in New York, out of New York.
Monumental that so many
So-
people tried to mimic and couldn't even do.
So maybe I wouldn't put Prodigy ahead of him because
I wouldn't either.
because 50's those first two albums,
Yeah,
like I've never seen
Yeah.
anything like that. And I'm talking about I've been there for everybody. Rakim,
you should include
Run
the
DMC. I've never seen anything like that ever.
Mhm. Yeah.
When dudes drop.
So
They
I didn't
like-
want to backtrack, but let's kind of quickly go back and go right down the line. Karis one, does he belong here at top 10? First part of the question, does he belong in the top 10? That's a
He
no-brainer.
belongs in the top 10. Yeah,
Does he
absolutely.
belong at 10? In
No.
your opinion? No.
I
Okay.
actually, I don't think that he shouldn't be. I don't think that he should be 10. Like that's a spot for him. But
Mhm.
with the 10 that they have, the only person that I'm like 1,000% I'm putting him in front of. No, okay, maybe I'm capping. He should definitely be a little higher. I'd put him closer to the 6 to 4 range in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, I guess he could be higher, but I'm not like. I don't think it's like, oh my god, this isn't Ja Rule.
I mean, it's not egregious.
Right. It's
But-
not egregious.
Ja Rule at 37.
He belongs
if
in the top
it's
10
me-
and he's there.
If it's me, the man created the temple of hip hop. I mean, like,
Yeah. I mean, he's one of
he
the
put
walking
South Bronx-
embodiments.
even though
of-
South Bronx is where
Yeah.
he put South Bronx on the map. Like,
Well, yeah, he kind of
Boogie Down
started
Down
that
really put South Bronx
territorial
on the map.
people yelling out there crews. He started that with South Bronx. He also is like a walking embodiment of hip hop.
Yeah.
He teaches it. You can go to
He talks it.
Karis
He
One
says
and
it.
ask
He loves it.
anything
Yeah.
about hip hop. If I had to say, I'll say this: if someone came to me, knew nothing about hip hop, and said, "How do I find? Who should I talk to learn the history of
And
hip
send
hop?"
him to Chris.
I would
Absolutely.
send him to Karis One, most
Absolutely.
definitely, out of
He's
everyone on this list.
Freaking of hip
To-
hop.
Yeah, to me,
To
I'm putting him ahead of Busta.
Yeah.
I'm putting him ahead of DMX. I'm putting him ahead of Nicki Minaj.
Probably
So that's gonna put him around that
About that 7,
6. I'm not putting him ahead of L.
No.
So that's gonna put him around that 6, 7 range
Yeah.
Yeah,
for me.
I like Chris in the top 10, maybe a little higher though.
Okay. So with that being said, does Busta Rhymes belong in the top 10?
Yes.
In your opinion?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Is he? You said you put Chris, so he's not in the spot that you would agree with, Kev, because you said you'd put Chris ahead of him. So maybe he would be 10 on your list.
Maybe he'd be 9 and Nicki 10.
Maybe.
I-
Well, I agree with you, Prime. What you first said, I'd bump Nicki to 11 and pull Prodigy in.
Oh yeah, we're putting
Top
Prodigy.
10.
If we're putting Prodigy in here, probably.
I'm bumping. So I'm actually. Well, we gotta be finished.
Yeah. Okay. Number 8 is DMX. Belongs in the top 10.
No,
100%.
not to me.
You don't think he belongs in the top 10?
Not to me.
Okay.
That
And
first 2 album run is crazy though. Like,
yeah,
Not to me.
he had a huge impact on hip hop. That's for sure. A lot of hits. He was lyrical. He had bars. His performances was ridiculous as far as on stage, but his impact was pretty big too.
but I can see
Okay.
what you.
But I can understand you saying he doesn't belong in there.
You're saying maybe
So-
he's not gonna be a top 10.
So you
I
put him outside of 10. So who do you
I
put
put him
there? Who do
outside
you
of
bring in? Who you bringing in?
I'm bringing in for New York. I'm bringing Prodigy in the top 10, and
Uh,
I'm bringing Big Daddy Kane in the top 10.
okay, makes sense. I can go with that. I don't have a problem with that. DMX, I don't have a problem. I was a little. It was a little.
X
What's the
can't go
word?
any more than 15 in my opinion.
No. Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
he go that
he's
far.
definitely within the top 20.
If he, I could see dropping out of the top 10, but he can't go too much lower. Yeah.
No. He doesn't. He
And he
doesn't go
doesn't.
too much.
Okay, we already spoke on Nicki Minaj. 50 Cent, we kind of spoke on him.
Yeah,
I'm kind of happy where he is, but maybe I'd put him back a spot or two, but he's definitely in the top 10.
I
for
can't
sure.
push him back, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. 50 Cent's influence. 50 Cent's influence is so big that Ja Rule is 37 on this list right now.
I
Ja
know.
Rule was 37 on this list, even though he shouldn't
Right.
be. Because
We know
of
you
50
should-
Right, because of 50 Cent.
So
Yeah.
I can't put him any lower than 6.
He's probably around the right spot.
He's
If
around
we're
right
talking
now.
about
So
New York, if we're talking about New York, I mean, there ain't nothing that made New York look harder than this dude getting shot 9 times, coming back and just
coming back and getting even better. So we're in the top 5 now. Top 5 is LL Cool J. Is that where he belongs?
Nah, he should
Wait a minute.
be higher for me. Like closer to 1.
Mhm.
Top 5, obviously, great, but I think he should be closer to 1. I think he should be 4. I think I
move him up 1 or 2 slots, depending on who's ahead of him.
Okay, that moves up. Rakim is number 4.
I would move him up a spot as well.
He's 2 to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, for me, he was 1 for a super long time. I kind of moved one of the people in front of him, and then moved another one in front of him recently. So I would put him at 8, in my opinion. But the 2 people I have in front of him are in front of him on this list.
Okay. I agree. I'd move him up at least 1 to 2 spots. And Nas, number 3.
It's interchangeable.
At this point, yeah.
I would say
I have him up. I have him up 2.
who was 4? I would say I probably, you know what? I probably have to keep L at 5 because Nas might even be, what number is he? 4?
He's 3.
He's 3.
Might flip-flop him with the guard. Or you said the guard is 2 for you, though. You said the guard is number 2.
I would definitely flip flop. Matter of fact, I'm flip flopping. I finished
him and Biggie.
The other 2. That's who I'm flip flopping.
Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, I'm flip flopping Rakim with him.
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
And I'm leaving Nas.
That's where he's at. Okay. And as we have here, Jay-Z is number 1.
Yeah, I'm leaving J1.
I would drop
the only other one that I'm putting at 1 would be Rakim or Nas. Or Cool J. But I'm putting Jay-Z 1 only because he's still relevant. Like he still can do 1 verse a year and it would be the most anticipated verse
and talked about.
Like when he dropped the God Did verse, it's like the whole internet stopped.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody went and was reacting to that verse. Everyone reacted to that verse so much. He was on a song with Rick Ross and Wayne. Those are 2 beasts. Yeah. Like those ain't 2 bums. Yeah. He's on and it's like no one cared. Like everyone forgot their verses, and both their verses was hot. You know what I mean? And he did it the year before with the Was Free verse or with Meek Mill. Yeah. It's like everyone anticipates for Jay to drop that verse of his verse of his year. They're gonna do it this year. If he drops a verse in 2023, they're gonna do the same thing. I got him 1, but like I said, man, the top 5 is interchangeable to me.
Interchangeable.
If you got Biggie at 1, Nas at 2, Jay at 3, L at 4, Rakim at 5, I ain't got no problem. If you got Rakim at 1, I don't have no problem. I don't have a problem with any of those top 5 being number 1. But
Yeah,
I would flip flop Big with Rakim.
Rakim.
I personally, I think I had, in my opinion, I would have probably had Big 5.
Mm.
Which is funny. I mean, this is New York rappers. This is probably my top 5. Period. Rapper.
Anyway, yeah, I think this might be everyone's top
The
5.
only-
It's just
the only
interchangeable.
I always flip flop like certain people in that 5 spot with Big, only because it's maybe it's wrong with me, but I always hold the whole dying early thing kind of against him in a way.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So
Yeah, me too.
you know,
Always.
never
I
been.
mean, it's not his fault, but it's not their fault either. So they shouldn't suffer.
Yeah.
The other people on the list shouldn't suffer because Biggie
Exactly.
was unfortunately taken down
Yeah.
early.
I think if I rearrange the top 5, I probably have Big at 5. In my opinion, I'd have Cool J at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cool J. I don't like what he did to Cannabis. I think that was grimy, but whatever. But I like Cool J. So, and then I would have Rakim at 3 again. Rakim was my 1. Then Jay-Z jumped to 1, and I had Rakim at 2. And then as of recently, I put Nas at 1. And the reason I put Nas at 1 is because I love Rakim. Rakim don't really make music like that anymore. But Jay-Z, the exact thing you were just saying about his stopping the internet when he drops a verse. Jay-Z's that dude. But also, that's kind of the part of it of why I don't have him at my 1 for New York, because he's so big, it's not even about New York no more, bro. Jay-Z is not New York anymore. Jay-Z's rock, like The Rock. You feel me? Like that's what he is.
Right.
So to me, it's like Nas still.
Nas is still putting out albums.
Nas
and still repping New York hard body.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and what he did the last few years. So like if this was Nas leaving off after, the ICANNs and all that, and that like real like low at the time, then yeah, like at that point I would probably say Nas was like 3-4 for me. But he back up to 1 with these like King Disease with that of album drops. To me, he still sounds hungry. Like I love Jay, but Jay is rapping from a different plane at this point right now. He's rapping from a plane of like, I'm sitting up here and I'm past this. I'm happy.
Let me come down with the commoners and drop a verse.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna drop a dope verse, but let me step down off my crown real quick, or step down off my throne and talk with the commoners.
Like my thing is like New York. When I think New York rap is competition. Like in Atlanta, for better or for worse, in Atlanta and stuff like that, like they pick each other up. You know what I mean? They're like one big team of rappers pretty much. But in New York is a whole different thing. Like it's competition, and if we think of competition, like there's nothing. There's not like you'd really have to do something for Jay-Z to even think to respond to you. But Nas looked like the type to me. If he's walking down the block and heard niggas in a cypher spitting some fire, he'd jump in that shit.
Yeah, he'd jump in and Nas is really represented hip hop very, 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 like I said, Jay is out being a billionaire, so he's doing a bunch of other things, whereas Nas is still, almost feels like Nas is still on the ground, right? Like he's still got, and he's big, very rich himself, and he may be approaching a billionaire status soon because of his ventures that he has out there, but he is very still boots on the ground type of dude. He grabbed him Hit Boy with his, that's his new DJ Premier type, and they're just going in and they're making great music, still winning awards and having, classic type albums. So yeah, Nas, because of that, dare I say, Nas moved 1 spot up on my list to surpass the God Rakim Allah. And he's at 2, in my opinion. I still got Jay-Z at 1 because of Jay-Z's just all
only by a hair now.
By a very small
Nas really closed it, and like I know Prime has Nas as 1, but Nas, in my opinion, is 3. But I mean 2. I have him, like my final list is I have him ahead of Rock. Like I have Rock 3. But Rakim Nas, because he's still putting out music now, and Rakim is like, I'm not with you.
I'm just gonna do the classics.
The thing about Rakim that affected him is he refused to reinvent himself. Yeah, he's like, I'm not rapping like these new dudes. I'm not changing my voice. I'm not changing my cadence. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's the God. He can do what he wants. So, but to me, that prevented him from staying in front of Nas, because Nas is still
probably number
putting
one.
out albums.
Yeah.
Most
One of the most important.
Well, Rakim probably number one.
I agree. So that's the list for Complex. I want everybody to obviously comment. What did you think about the Complex list? Who would you take out? Some honorable mentions. You said have no Sticky Fingers, no Fredro Starr.
Sticky Fingers would have went in.
Yeah,
Joe would have went in. Inspector Deck. How can you put in Jizza, Meth, ODB, and Ghostface, when a lot of people thought that Inspector Deck was the best in the group. A lot of people.
Lyrics, as far as lyrics go.
Lyric wise.
Best lyricist in the entire group. I mean, to me, it's between him and Jizza, but in terms of like it crossover to the masses,
he didn't have that.
He didn't have it.
Jizza's so smart that sometimes but like,
I think I would have to.
Two of the hottest
Sticky Fingers, Fredro, gotta be to me. No Fife Dog, but you had Q-Tip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
well, they're gonna, with the groups, there's always that one that is.
Except DMC should be in there.
Yeah.
You had DJ Run, and Run and DMC wasn't too far apart when it comes to lyrics. So how can you have Run in there?
Yeah.
And you don't have DMC in there.
I think it's real hard to rank them against certain people. I feel like, because rapping has gone so differently, like it's gone so much the other way.
Well, Run had that.
Run at one point. Run was considered the nicest. At some point he was considered the nicest. DMC wasn't, so that's probably why.
That's probably why. It makes sense, because you can't put all of the groups and duels in there, from there. But it's a good point. What do y'all think out there? That's what we want to know. Y'all make sure you comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and all that other good stuff. Like, subscribe, and
hit the notification bell and everything.
Hit the notification bell and share this with your friends. We like to hear what your list is. Put your top 10. Don't put 50 in there now. Don't put no 50 people on it. Put your top 10, even your top 5 or top 10 we'll accept in the comments below. Get back at us, holler back at us, and we will see y'all next time when we come back. Clark Dynasty's in the building. For your boy Heaven Hollywood, for your boy Wonder Kid Prime, I am the director. Peace.